Before we get started today, I just want to make a very special announcement.
I wonder what that could be.
And that is that on this day, in 1951, April 3rd,
Centuries ago.
1951, Reverend W.L. Keeney and Virginia A. Keeney became grandparents.
Yay for them. Yes.
Yes.
They were truly grand and still are.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Thank
we
you so
are
much.
celebrating
Actually,
Brad's birthday.
We just found out, literally a few minutes ago, that I received a letter from someone I haven't heard from.
We have a letter.
Yes, we have a letter. We received an email from a woman I have not heard from for 53 years. Someone I knew as a child. And she said, I have to contact you because I had the strangest dream. I dreamed that I went to the other side and talked to people I knew in the past who had passed away. And they all said, tomorrow is Brad's birthday. It freaked her out.
Isn't that wild?
So I just want to say that
Ooh.
there's no doubt that the Spirit House of New Orleans is alive and well. And those altars and your hearts, when the portal is open, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So there we go. So let us begin by saying, everyone, welcome to the new future of sacred ecstatics that is inside the Spirit House of New Orleans. We are now all about ecstatic rope sparklers and aesthetic rope ticklers.
As Fred Astaire would say,
Oh, yay.
hooray! Hooray for the ecstatics rope. I think we should call the ecstatics rope ER.
ER.
ER. It's the emergency room for higher emergence that refers to feeling a relationship with God.
Love it. I love that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. As you would say, it's all about sacred emotion. Do you remember
Mm.
that track that you made when you said that thing that I sing all the time? Catch the sacred emotion.
Everybody.
Align the tones.
Align the tunes.
And-
Align the
and-
tunes. Align those tones. Come on now.
Align the tones.
So, does this rope start the climb at the wonder-working belly power station and then move upward to the heart's extreme divine love before finally surrendering to the highest numinous vibration?
That is exactly what the Kalahari doctors might say.
Now, what about the other rope?
Well, the aesthetics rope, which I guess now we call AR,
Yeehaw!
ER and AR, is the cowboy and cowgirl lasso.
Love that rope.
That's the rope for trickster invention and artistic creation. We're back at the rodeo.
Say it.
Two-rope rodeo.
I remember that. So, does this rope include the creation of dead mackerel replication? And does it also include the creation of original innovation?
You should ask your ecstatics rope.
Ha!
You need to take that question to the ER.
But that rope is pure emotion and doesn't deal with words.
Well, that's why you should ask it.
So how does this double rope talk change the sacred ecstatics journey to the big room for setting your soul on fire?
It gets you straight to the double pointing points. First, by asking, what are you creating? That's question one. And then, what are you doing to spark sacred emotion?
Spark, spark.
2 questions, 2 ropes.
In the dark, spark.
What are you creating? And what are you doing to spark sacred emotion? All else is swept away to create an empty bowl ready to grow, hold, and serve.
Get absorbed in passion for the creative project of living each day.
I
Nothing-
like that.
nothing
Yes.
less.
Yes.
Than building an alternate reality. What we prefer calling a sacred ecstatics alter reality. That's been this year, hasn't it?
It has.
So now get ready. Get ready, folks. We're going to review and review the recipe for setting your soul on fire. Setting that soul on fire, on fire.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready.
On fire, on fire.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Step 1. This guild season, building the big room began as emptying the bowl. Now we can say that this has become make room for your double ropes to spring into action. That is step 1. Make room for those double ropes to spring into action. ER and AR are in the spirit house.
Very good. Step 2. Step 2. Spiritual cooking refers to both your ropes being on fire and in alternation, heading toward circular convergence before soul fire emergence.
And finally, step 3. You return to the everyday, involves sharing your gift and graciously hosting an expanded room. You do this by shining those 3 Numi rays.
3 Numi rays.
Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Through wisely administered kindness and medicinal hilarity.
Medicinal hilarity. I love that medicine so very, very much. How about you?
Spurlock living. Just be nice.
Attention! I am feeling a message coming through. A message is coming through to the spirit house from the other side. Calling on Seiki to return for another turn. This name for sacred emotion emphasizes the life force and its revitalizing power.
And we are calling on Num to return for another burn. This name for sacred emotion emphasizes the climb from power to love and even higher through anointed Hoofer song and dance.
Calling on the Holy Spirit to return for another churn and upturn. This name for sacred emotion emphasizes that love alone is enough. When evoked by prayer that becomes the song and dance, changing wheel.
It's time for everyone to get your 2 ropes in play. Come on! Notice how they echo past visionary teachings. Do you remember the 2-rope rodeo? Now that is in climbing 2.
Coming back, rodeo time.
2-rope rodeo.
Giddy up.
Also recall the teaching in Sacred Ecstatics, the book, about spiritual metabolism. After receiving the fire or any spiritual gift, you must metabolize it, give it back to the world through creatively performed action.
Are you saying it's time for more cake?
It is, as long as you metabolize it.
Metabolize.
That's the redo and review. Let former visionary teachings and gifts come back. But this time changed by the room and our expanded double rope action.
Come back sauce. We must be in Jackson, Mississippi.
We're going to Jackson.
Johnny got the cash. You'll only be happy, boys and girls. I get to say this.
Because you're 70.
I'm 70. You're only going to be happy when you find your anointed instrument.
Say it.
Talking about your special anointed instrument. What you were born to create with. That's what gets your aesthetic rope in play. Then the other rope, the ecstatics rope, must spark a fire, the sacred emotion of sacred ecstasy. At any degree of temperature, it's fine. It can be warm and start to hot, or you can boil, fry, or cool. Any temperature. But know that there is no conductance in store for you if you use a gift you don't own. Don't forget, if you don't have natural rhythm, you won't be holding a conductor's baton. Find your special gift and feel the electricity conduct as it brings down higher inspiration.
The Sacred Ecstatics experiments.
Say it.
All of them are double rope experimental performances. All of them. Turning your everyday life into a life force theater. You need to feel the numinous emotion for them to come to magical life. This may include feeling the mystery of their origin. You also need to perform their instruction with an aesthetically fine-tuned deliverance.
The Sacred Ecstatics Guild is inviting you to become an outsider soul vibe artist and an outsider sacred emotion hunter. Let me say that again.
Please do.
Big mojo potion here. We're saying you are invited to be an outsider soul vibe artist and an outsider sacred emotion hunter.
All those goofy loops must be interrupted. They must be short-circuited and blown away.
Oh, yes.
All we have created this year is ready to come back into play as your next experiment comes forth today, which is to say, right now.
Now, your goal is to replace, as you know, a goofy loop with an ecstatic higher circle. When you are thinking too much with Yeti guiding the way, pause and switch to an ecstatic track. Here's how you're gonna do it this time around.
So when you catch yourself in a funk of any kind, which is usually due to some form of overthinking, over-strategizing, over-analyzing, over-worrying, say inside yourself, pause. Now, when you say pause, you will immediately curl your fingers to look like animal paws.
Curling to make the pause, make the pause.
All you therianthropes,
Therianthropes.
it's time to pause. Now say this changed word. Make sure you say it when you raise it. Don't just say it inside. You can, but you should also experiment with actually saying pause.
Pause, please.
Start the original prayer line that we used this year, communing with thee.
Communing
With thee. Communing with thee.
Communing with Paul Bentley. Communing with thee.
Now, this time, however, you will add a call in response. So when you say communing with thee, you will answer back with yes, Lord. So let me demonstrate. You find yourself in a goofy loop, and then you realize it and you say, pause, then begin. Communing with thee. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord, communing with thee. Yes, Lord, yes, Lord.
Repeat until you feel it. Let me repeat that. Repeat, repeat, repeat until you feel it. Then lift those paws up to your heart. And slowly and surely, as you change the prayer line, keep the same response. Climbing the ladder.
Yes, Lord.
Lord. Climbing the ladder.
Yes, Lord. Climbing the ladder. Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Climbing the ladder.
Climbing the ladder.
Yes,
The ladder.
Lord.
Yes, Lord. Climbing the
With pause.
pause. Therianthropes, don't forget to pause. Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Communing with thee, yes,
Yes,
Lord.
Lord.
Climbing the ladder
Yes,
all the way
Lord.
up to the heart. So you can say, climbing the ladder, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Things are heating up in the frying pan. When you feel you're feeling this at the heart level. I'm feeling it. Feeling it at the heart level.
Repeat till you feel it.
Repeat, 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 repeat. You might have to stand on your feet. Repeat, repeat. Feel it at the heart level. Then you can proceed to the final round. Slowly, slowly, slowly feel your arms stretch upwards until your paws tremble at their fully stretched peak. Above your head, they're going to tremble. And when you're at the ascent, you say,
Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes,
yes,
Lord.
Lord.
Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Repeat until it's felt
Yes,
and embodied.
Lord. Yes.
That means your body is enacting it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Don't you be someone who said, I'm here for trickster to defeat me. Repeat, repeat until it's felt and embodied. Wake up, oh you Therianthropes. Wake up, oh you
Yes.
Therianthropes.
Yes.
With two ropes, two ropes. The logs have burst. Those logs have burst into flames. And the fence has come down, coming on down, way under the ground. The wild has been released. The wild has been released, has been released. It's time to pause. It's time to get your prayer pause in action. All the way up, all the way up. Therianthropes with double ropes. All the way up,
All the way up. Yes,
Therianthropes
Lord.
with two
Yes,
ropes.
Lord. Yes, Lord. Sacred Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Sounds like fun.
That's
Coming
how you
around
get
again.
out of a goofy loop and into a noomy loop. Sacred ecstasy, communing with thee. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Get on your paws. Get on your paws. Pause when you feel you're thinking too much, worrying too much. Time to pause. Communing with thee. Stay there till you feel it. Communing with thee. Yes,
Yes, Lord.
communing with thee.
Yes, Lord.
Communing with thee.
Yes, Lord.
Bum, 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 bum. And when you feel it start to climb with those paws up to your heart, then change the line, change the lines, climbing the ladder.
Yes, Lord.
Climbing the ladder
Yes, Lord. Climbing the ladder.
all the way to
Yes.
the top. The sacred ecstasy
Yes,
trembling.
Lord. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. When you feel emotion awaken, recognize that now both ropes are in play. Appreciate how the whole sequence and not just one cutout part are important.
Yes, very good. The whole sequence, not just a cutout. That's why cutouts alone miss the pattern that connects all the little cutouts. Keep it in the pattern.
Yes.
In the sequence, please. Thank you very much.
That is how you will feel that the numinous is near.
Yes.
Discern what has aesthetic copaesthetics.
So you're saying the numinous is on the line.
The numinous
It's
is
on
on
the
the
rope.
line. It's on the
Not
rope.
cutout piece. It's on the line.
It's on the
Wichita.
line.
Linemen and girls.
Get on
Line
the line.
boys and girls.
Get on the line.
Double,
Pause.
double line.
And get on the lines.
Say it.
Yes. Because in the changing of this performance repetition,
The changing.
oscillations
Oscillations.
make a difference that become a vibration.
Vibrations. What's important.
Don't understand what I just said.
No understanding.
No understanding needed. Just stand under this pure, pure methane. Light a match and soak in the emotional downpour. That is your experiment. And of course, soon after the webinar, it shall be posted.
There we go. Now this week, I did something new in the household. I said, Hillary, before we retired for the evening, said, Hillary, my darling, tonight would you place the large lapis stone underneath your pillow? Something she had not done yet.
I had not.
That night she dreamed that we were leading the guild on a special adventure. That lapis was quite a pillar, quite a dream pillar.
When the pointer points, you follow those instructions. So, I dreamed that we, Brad and I, had followed the prescription to make a shrine to the saints.
Very
We
good.
built an ineffable long trail of shrines that honored all the saints, and several of the small sculptures that we created were marked with azurite blue paint. We then instructed the guild, all of you, to follow this trail and mentioned that we would meet you after you had found all the shrines. You could say that it was sort of like an Easter egg hunt.
I like it very much.
Mixed with our shrines, yes. It was like this. Part of the trail was built along a median, a patch of grass in the center of a street in an old neighborhood, Like in New Orleans, we call that neutral ground.
Neutral ground is what that's called here. Tell them why.
Well, it's in the center of the parade route, in the center of a long boulevard, and some people like to stand there to watch the parades go by. You're on neither one side of the sidewalk or the other. You are on neutral ground. Unlike New Orleans, however, this street was a very steep hill. Brad and I were watching all of you from high on the peak, watching you scurrying along, looking for all the shrines. And then we noticed, while watching you find all the shrines along the way,
Okay, now, we noticed something. That one person in the guild became very, very excited.
Yes.
Oh, so excited and eager to reach the top of the hill that she began to run and encourage others to do so. We watched as so many people ran, perhaps too quickly, scrambling to find the shrines and complete the journey as fast as possible. It was like seeing children eager to find all the Easter eggs at that holiday hunt.
Yes. Now, while this was amusing, we also recognized how it could easily become unwise, because the experiment in that case felt like it was guided by one's own hands and trickster-inspired purpose, rather than just following instruction and letting it be guided by higher time. In other words, this kind of hurry had the wrong kind of base emotion. Hurrying to get to the top, instead of fully experiencing the journey of finding the shrines. We also then saw an older guild member lagging behind the group, and I felt worried that perhaps they would not be able to keep up because everybody had started hurrying too quickly and had forgotten about their comrade. I was worried they would be left behind.
Then the scene suddenly, unexpectedly changed. And we discovered that everyone had made it to the top.
Now, we were all traveling together in a column of energy that was both like a wind and a river current. I could feel the color of azurite and lapis lazuli all around us, though I couldn't see it with my eyes. I knew that we were traveling through the Wigram stream of time. We were showing the guild how our present work in sacred ecstatics is part of the past and how it is reshaping the future. As we traveled in this formless vehicle of azurite blue emotion, I looked at the landscape around us and noticed how it already had begun to change. As we traveled, all of the landmarks changed. In other words, I was aware how our present action had an altering effect both on the past and on the future. I remarked to Brad, this might be very confusing and disorienting to guild members who are trying to piece together a clear sense of the historical movement of religion through time and how sacred ecstatics is a part of that. Brad smiled at me and replied, "Don't worry. Right now, we are taking people on the lineal route, so they won't see all the recursions that make everything constantly change."
Hillary was flooded with the realization that we could travel in the Wigram stream in two parallel ways. On the one hand, we are always in the recursions of Ouroborean circularity. However, for the sake of simplicity, we can choose to look at the progression of change through a clear beginning, middle, and end just like we map a session
Yes.
with recursive frame analysis.
Yes. Beginning, middle, end.
Both the complex circularities and the simple progressive line of transformation are always co-present.
Brad then announced
Makahishta.
in the dream that he had just had a vision. The guild gathered around to hear the report. We were all still traveling in this column of wind in the Wigram stream. Then a new passenger appeared. She had just joined our tribe. Brad's dream was about this woman, and she knelt in front of us to listen as all of you gathered around. Brad sat in a chair, and I stood by his side. Brad said that in his dream, he saw a rope that was dotted with blue paint and had many gray stones attached. Each stone was marked with blue paint as well. Brad explained that this is our lineage rope. It connects us to the Wigram stream, and it holds all the past, present, and future experiences connected to sacred ecstatics. In the dream, Brad watched as this woman's hand was placed on the rope by an unseen force. As Brad spoke, I saw the woman and the rope. I saw her hand being placed on it, as if I was having the dream myself. The message was clear in the dream that when Brad passes on, this woman will help me in some way to continue the work of sacred ecstatics.
We both waited to see how the woman would react.
We wondered if her little me would step forward to simply accept the mystery that had come down. Or would her big me step in and run wild with fantasies of names and claims and wondering about her role, eager to grasp at what this would mean for her status, names, claims.
We could see that she was stunned by the news, wondering what this meant specifically for her life.
Then Brad and I spoke to her in one voice.
We have been shown that you are now on this lineage rope. None of us can know what that will mean exactly, nor what form it will take or how it will play out. There's nothing you can do to hurry up the process or block this fact. In fact, it's simply what each of us must be shown. Upon hearing this, the woman began to weep, and we felt her emotion. We knew it was the right kind of sacred emotion.
Brad and I both felt satisfied with what took place. The whole thing felt both very holy and also very matter-of-fact to us.
We also knew that this young woman was an angel from the other side who came over to demonstrate how we should each relate to the lineage, rope, and the visionary teachings that come in play.
We must each find our gift, our own gift, and own it.
Own it. Find it and own it.
Yes, Lord. No more coveting thy neighbor's gift. Surrender to playing your vital part in this remarkable and rare moment that is taking place in our Sacred Ecstatics Guild. Play your part. Don't be in a hurry.
Don't be in a hurry.
There's no need to be in a hurry. Instead, be in the blurry. That's where emotion overcomes all insight, outer sight, and any fantasy of spiritual might.
I believe we're in the blurry.
We're in the blurry.
I feel it, don't you? Don't you feel it? Whatever has happened to you in the past, or wherever you think your future is going, it is now. And I say now, subject to the changing of ongoing creation. Kabishta mahai mahai ishta wa makahishta hota ishta ringaritay nakaho ishta.
Now it is very interesting because while I was visioning our traveling in the Wigram stream, Brad was told in a vision to invite everyone to again jump back in the Wigram stream and be told that this is also the blue azurite vein of the holy mine.
Say it. The instruction previously given to Brother Chris was actually a transformed return of a vision formerly caught by Hillary. Remember, she earlier went into our backyard here in New Orleans and found a portal to the other side that led to a studio, a sculptor's studio, where the pantheon of saints and the spirit house of New Orleans reside. I recently suggested to Chris this week that he too jump back into the Wigram stream. Without any prompting, he also remembered Hillary's dream and how the wood farm instructions echoed it.
Yes, I remember this dream. I went outside and there was a small garden shack. A small kind of spirit house, if you will. But it was actually hiding a doorway to a whole other reality. And when I went through, it's much like our shrines, actually. Something is not what it appears above ground. Forget the physicality and geography of your home address. Your access to the other side is found underneath the ground, anywhere and everywhere that those shrines abound. Whether your address is England, Budapest, Sweden, Belgium, Switzerland, Norway, Chile, Germany, Austria, Australia, the United States, or wherever, know that it does not matter. That is only a name.
The shrines, the trails, the altars, even Numi, and the medallions are portal entries to the Wigram stream below. The Azurite 222 piece of trail to New Orleans.
New Orleans.
The world of saints. They bring you to come to life when you re-emerge in mystery. And that's inside the home of the spirit house of New Orleans. Let me say it again, it's so important.
Say it
that you
again.
know
Yes,
that the
Lord.
shrines and the trails and the altars and the Numi and the medallions are portal entries to the Wigron stream
Yes,
below,
Lord.
way below.
Yes, Lord.
That's the Irish channel, Irish Azurite,
Makes the room
Peace.
Peace.
Train to New Orleans. You gotta get into New Orleans where the Spirit House is. Wherever you are, all those places that Hillary mentioned are names of physical places. Those are where the altars, the medallions, you perhaps are. You gotta find your way through the portal to the door to get into the Spirit House of New Orleans.
That means that you no longer wholly live where you formerly lived.
Say it.
That has been changed. You now have a door to the Spirit House of New Orleans, with all its wilderness that has been released. And that includes Africa, the Kalahari, Japan, and all your domiciles, backyards, gardens, trees, stones, streams, lakes, mountains, hills, and woods.
Feel what it means to really miss the vibe of New Orleans.
Feeling that is the first step toward traveling here.
Come on down, you're here. The saints want to feel you are near. Somebody knocking at the door. Listen, it's already midnight, and someone is under the ground. In first creation, it's already midnight, and someone in the guild, has already gone under the ground and come into the Spirit House, New Orleans. Why? It's Mary Foster. Hi, Mary. Good to find you here. Good that you followed instruction. Played that flute to the song that came down the line.
Open the door.
That opened the door. You found your way to the Spirit House, and in this middle wobble of both sides now, she had herself an adventure.
She did.
And make sure, as you hear it now, that you remember it's a gift for all of you.
These are Mary's words.
Say,
I dreamed that I was sitting with some members of the guild and was talking about a dream. I was in a city in the sky. It was the end of my life, this was clear. We were in a type of monastery, but there were no walls. I was blind, but I could see well enough to know where to go and when I needed help. I would pray, and angels would come and guide my footsteps. Because I was at the end of my life, it felt unclear to me what I was supposed to do. I didn't know how to move forward, how to move on. It was not clear if I should let go or hold on. I sought the advice of someone named Mother Superior. She took my hand and looked right into my eyes. It was as if she was looking deep inside me. She asked me why I had sought her counsel. I told her, I can feel you deeply within me, and I feel that there is no way to lie to you about what is going on. I don't even know why you're asking me this question, because I'm sure that you already know what I'm feeling and thinking, but perhaps you're waiting to see if I will be truthful. Mother Superior smiled at me, and I waited. I said, I do not know how to let go. I do not know if I should hold on. I'm confused, and I'm afraid. Then she reached out and put her hand on top of my head. I felt a vibration start at the base of my spine, and then it was as if a warm liquid was being poured into my body. My body started shaking, and the warm liquid also became a light that was starting to pour out of me. I could see this light shining outward, making all that was around me perfectly clear. I felt an emotion swell up in my heart, and it felt as if my chest would just burst open. Mother Superior, with her hand on my head, did not speak any words, but I heard her voice say inside of me, "At these times when you are lost, this is the time to pray with more clarity and concentration. When you do this, it will not matter if you hold on or let go." I'm going to say this again. Mother Superior said to Mary, "At these times when you are lost, this is the time to pray with more clarity and more concentration. When you do this, it will not matter if you hold on or let go." Then in the dream, the Lord's Prayer started to come from deep inside me. I would say a phrase internally and then hear it repeated again and again. And as time went by, it was as if all of the phrases were being said simultaneously, but each had their distinct place. It became impossible to understand the phrases or their meanings, but I only felt the impact of the vibrations, all the vibrations from each phrase as this prayer pulsed inside and outside of me. I started repeating, "Thank you, yes, Lord. Thank you, yes, Lord. Thank you, yes, Lord." I said this again and again while the Lord's Prayer was being infused inside me. When I woke up, I did not remember this as a dream. It was as if this really happened. My heart is grateful. I feel like I need to do more, put more effort into staying on board. Thank you both so much for all of your care. I carry you in my heart always and love you so dearly. Mary. Now, when we received this visionary report from Mary, I was just blown away.
We certainly were.
We felt it so deeply. It's quite a holy vision and gift to us all. Tiffany's feeling it right now. And I wonder, Brad, with such a vision like this, how shall Mary live with the gift of such a dream?
Mary expresses how you can feel, each of you, when you really cook a prayer. I know, that's how it feels. The sacred vibration wakes up and infuses mystery that is felt. And it is beyond all words. It changes everything the next day. This is living the sacred ecstatics Numi way, with your rays in play. Say amen, somebody.
Amen.
Come
Yes,
on.
Lord.
Say amen.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Everybody.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Ashtamakahe.
Yes, Lord.
I also want to add Shindakahe. I want to add this, that the portal to the Spirit House in New Orleans opens when people open themselves to their altar door.
Yes.
This news just came in yesterday.
It's from Mari. She said, "Dear Hillary and Brad, as I
Shish kebab.
drifted off to sleep."
Shish
Yes,
kebab talking.
Shish kebab here. As I drifted off to sleep, I saw many moving colors arrive. It was like a color carnival that took place right in front of me.
Wonderful.
I saw a woman high on stage pouring bucket after bucket of liquid magenta light over the audience. It was so lovely.
Then she added, I felt the woman was Hillary.
Welcome, magenta, magenta, magenta.
And then this morning, Reverend Dr. Bow Wow reported this. I dreamed. I think that sounds like Reverend Bow Wow tones. I dreamed of a Middle Eastern saint who was a master at freeing children. In his village, he could free the children of boredom. I like that very much.
I like that too.
And the Reverend Dr. Bow Wow said, in this dream I felt mysterious joy and wonder break out and set the children free from boredom. It was lush all around, and it felt very good.
That's a two-rope wizard, if you ask
Oh,
me.
yes, so we must say there is a flood. There's a flood taking place in the Sacred Ecstatics Guild. Make sure the portal door of your heart and of your altar is open.
Now, if you want to hang out with us in the Spirit House of New Orleans and go through the portal door that lies underneath the floor everywhere you built a shrine, well then, what do? What have we learned? You must be a two-rope rodeo maverick, outskirts artist, cooker. Get that ER and AR in play. When you feel a goofy loop coming on, when you feel yourself drifting away, when you feel yourself being imprisoned inside boredom, then it is time to say pause.
Pause, please.
Pause. Lift those hands. Conduct a performance for the gods. Communing with thee. Yes, Lord. Communing with thee. Yes, Lord. Climbing the ladder. Yes, Lord. Climbing the ladder. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord. Sacred ecstasy. Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Get all the prayer lines in play. Do it.
Do it.
Perform it. That's how you go through the door.
All of you. All of you.
All of you.
Every one of you with all of you. Not a single molecule left out. Get those two ropes. As Hillary says, get the two ropes in play. Only that will make it an extraordinary day and night with a spark for the dark and a dart for the heart. I mean you.
All of you.
Need to bring all of you to build an alternate reality. Alternating in the 222 piece of electricity, the current of
Yes,
the Wigram
Lord.
stream running underneath your home, your altar, your pond, your sea, bring you through to meet the saints
The saints
of the Spirit House
are
of
waiting.
New Orleans.
We're in the Wigram stream. The azurite blue emotion.
I think only one time I'll be able to pray for you when you're together on the day that I turn 70. 7. It's a lucky number. You're very lucky. I pray
Yes, Lord.
that each of you realize how short
Yes, Lord.
this adventure called life is.
Yes.
And that you not waste a single hour or day just thinking maybe tomorrow, next year,
I don't feel like it. Later.
I can say to you, now is the day, now is the night,
Now is the time.
now is the time, now is the day to pray anew. Going back to where we began this year with the 3 5-beat prayers.
Now that you are a
Rumba.
Therian throat with paws,
When
you
the
are ready to
wild
travel.
has been
The
released.
wild has been released.
The elephants, the lions,
Communing with thee. Yes, Lord.
all of nature is calling you to be alive with 2 ropes in hand.
Climbing the ladder. Yes, Lord.
Be a part of creation.
Sacred ecstasy.
No more
Yes,
negation.
Lord.
Be a part of creation. No more negation.
Be a part of creation.
You want the elation. Be a part of creation.
2 ropes.
Ecstatics.
2 paws.
Aesthetics. ER. AR.
A-R.
R. 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 You and you and you and you are given the opportunity to find your gift,
Yes, Lord.
to use it,
Own it.
sprout your wings in the metamorphoses of the eons coming through. This is my prayer for you.
For you.
Mwah, happy birthday to First Creation. Happy birthday.